Yeah, they've had a few of them so far. It seems like they mostly rely on the... I mean, the models and animations are nice enough that I don't mind them sticking to these. Hate to interrupt your bonding time, but... Aren't you rather new to all this? You're barely even a lawyer. Well, I don't have much experience, and I may need Apollo and Mr. Wright's help at times. But nobody believes in Junie as much as I do. I'll help you too, Juniper. There's no way you murdered your professor. Athena. Apollo. Thank you both. I'm counting on you. We've got your back, Junie. Guess things worked out after all. Now that you have your lawyers, Ms. Woods, it's time for us to head back to the station. Wait, are we really gonna wait until tomorrow to do the court to put her on trial for murder? I can't believe Junie's been arrested for murder. Oh, Vagrant, hello. And I mean, if they had the option to play it in Japanese, I would, but they don't. This is on neither the Switch nor the 3DS. This is on Android. I'm using BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator. And I'm very pleased with how the port is working. I actually did pay for it too. Like I didn't just download the APK. Normally, I mean a lot of I don't really own any consoles, so unfortunately anything that I've had to play on stream that's been from a console, I've just gotten a ROM from somewhere. But here I'm happy to pay for this finally because they're good. And I can't believe I accepted her case without asking Mr. Wright. Take a deep breath and relax, Athena. I'm here to help with whatever you need. So let's get right on the case. Right! I won't have this case left in the hands of rank amateurs. If anyone's going to solve this case, it'll be me. Time to investigate. Why, that smug little... He hasn't even finished law school. Doesn't he know there's rules to this? Phew! That was totally rude! And you're not the only one on this case, man. I'm in too. Big time. Juniper Woods! I'm gonna save you! Now that those two are gone, let's get back to what I was talking about in front of the stage. About the mock trial, that is. Yes, the large forehead. Oh, right. You said the victim's location, position, and so on were just like in the script. Exactly. But without the script or any props, it's kind of hard to explain. Perhaps I could help, Air Forehead. Clavier. Prosecutor Gavin, what are you doing here? You two seem to know each other. Is someone going to introduce me? Why, I do believe we have a fresh face here. Greetings, Fraulein. I am Clavier Gavin. Do you mind if I speak German? I know that you've been to Europe for 5 minutes. Some know me as a prosecutor, but I'm most famous for my former rock band. Do I dare to try doing a German accent the whole time? It's gonna be awful. We were quite popular, you know, but regrettably the band went kaput. Perhaps you've heard of us, the Gaviniers. I was the lead vocalist. Never heard of your band. But then again, I was out of the country until only recently. But can I get your autograph? Keep this perfect accent. I don't trust those asterisks around perfect. Is it? You just met him like 3 seconds ago and you want his autograph? Forgive me, Fraulein, but I've retired from the music biz. But I'd be happy to offer my autograph as rockstar prosecutor Clavier Gavin. Oh, okay, that one then. She's a lifer one, eh, Air Forehead? Didn't know she was your type. Asterisks of sincerity. She's the newest member of the Wright Anything agency, that's all. Nice to meet you. I'm Athena Sykes. A pleasure to meet you too, Athena Sykes. Now that the intros are out of the way, I'm sure you have some questions for me, yeah, Airforehead? We get to see him being Gavin. Why are you here? Good question. So what are you doing here, Prosecutor Gavin? I'm here for the same reason as your boss, to give a lecture and a training seminar. So he's the famous prosecutor they invited. All he does is lose cases. Which is the funny that's the funny thing about all of the Phoenix Wright games, is that in every one of them you go, this is the prosecutor who's never lost a case ever, and all they ever do in the, in the course of the game, the way that it plays out if you are successful, is they just constantly lose. And I have another crucial role to play. The Gaviniers are getting back together for a special one-time performance. Even though you guys disbanded, which was a shame, by the way, really. Yeah, I know how much you adored our music, Airforehead. Anyway, I studied abroad in Germany to get my badge early, but I did graduate from here. Wait, so that performance Junie mentioned... I see you've already heard about that. One student representative would... I'm trying to do it in, I don't know, normal German, but I keep drifting towards Arnold. Student representative was selected to sing with us on stage. And the stage was supposed to look like this tomorrow. Oh, it was him and Phoenix. You could tell that the blue suit was supposed to be Phoenix, but okay, so that's who the other one was Gavin. 2 big banners, and a pair of wicked statues. This is just an illustration, but it's not half bad. Wicked statues? Wait, are those supposed to be you and Mr. Wright? A young Arnie if he went into the music biz, and not the Mr. Bodybuilder biz? Bingo, Fraulein. That's a bingo. We just say bingo. Bingo, Fraulein. And they were so big and magnificent too. What a waste. What a terrible waste. But the worst part of this whole thing was my long-awaited reunion with my mentor never came to pass. Wait, don't tell me your mentor was Professor Colt. She was the one who taught me how to think about the law. So, Constance Court was your professor here at the Academy. She may have taught the judge course, but she had a huge impact on me. She was fond of saying, the end is only justified through proper means. Through proper means? You mean professor means? Which, by the way, where did he go? We haven't seen him. Is he also dead? Is this a double murder? She wouldn't tolerate dishonesty, and always revered what was right beyond all else. I can feel Prosecutor Gavin's sadness. Oh no, I think I'm gonna cry. Athena? Are you tearing up? Though I can't blame you. Prosecutor Gavin owes a lot of who he is to Professor Court. Exactly. So as you can see, we are both joined in purpose, so to speak, yeah? Now, let's rock this place hard. Huh? I don't follow. Let's rock what? Forget already, Airforehead? I said I'd help you explain the mock trial. We're going to reprise it right here in the lecture hall. It might help us catch your killer. If only we had a device. What was, what's her name? What's her name from, Miles Edgeworth Investigations? Who had the, just the VR device that she could just hit anywhere and would go, oh, we've reconstructed an entire... She's like, oh, just program it in. Beep, boop, 2 buttons. Mock trial reenactment. Right. The stage is ready. And you, Airforehead? Ready to rock? No. The defense is not ready to rock. K. Faraday. Very good. I streamed that quite a while ago. You saw the mock trial earlier, right? Just relax, you'll do fine. Besides, we have the script right here. Junie's masterpiece? The one everyone's been talking about? Yeah, and there's only one in existence. I borrowed it, if you will. Now, Fraulein, we'll need you to play the part of defendant and judge, as per the script. Okay, got it. I've only read the case outline so far. I don't know how it actually turns out, so I'll treat this like I'm prosecuting a real case. You, Air Forehead, will play the part of a fledgling lawyer, a role you were born to play. All the evidence is also here with us. We have everything we need to reprise the mock trial. Très bien! Let's get started. Defendant/Judge Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Court is now in session for our reenactment of the mock trial. How did your peace sign make a gavel sound? Objection. Or what I'd like to call the mock trial. Yeah, a double mockery perhaps, but the trial is still a trial. Achtung, baby, it's no holds barred. Let's rock. Can't we take it easy today? Objection. Judges can't object. It may just be a mock of a mock, but there's only one way to compete. You play to win. So remember, each time I catch you slacking off, I'm holding you in contempt of court. Are we going to have a health bar? And is it going to carry over to the real trial? Because I do have an objection to that. It was a respectable Actong. That means a lot coming from you, sir. Thank you. Oh, and I missed your experted voice. Pronounced Fräulein, not Fraulein. I will try to remember that. Fräulein. Okay. Great. A judge that voices her own objections and abuses her judicial powers. I was rushed that time. Now then, Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement, if you please. Alright, we'll try it out. You got it, Fräulein Judge. Our case is set in a school very much like this one. The victim, a professor, female. The defendant, an archery club member, also female. Oh me, oh my. I'm innocent. Innocent, I tell you. That's some seriously bad acting, Fräulein. Anyway, the victim's body was discovered in the middle of the quad. Yeah, this is shockingly similar. Here's a shot of the crime scene. Ironically, it was Professor Court who posed as the corpse. Air Forehead, how did the mock trial participants react to this photo? Mr. Nguyen was surprised by what Professor Court was wearing. He reacted with, "Oh, the green sweatsuit!" That's not exactly what I would pick to focus on, so why would he care about that? I'm not. I'm all over the place. I'm bouncing all around Europe. I'm speaking German from every corner of Europe where they speak German along with every other language. Too much of a fledgling to know what's important, that one. In any case, both in the mock trial and the actual case, Professor Court was wearing a sweatsuit. Moving right along. It's his opening statement. Don't be rude. Hey, wait a sec. I did it again. The body was discovered in the same area as the mock case, although there was a stage. Plus, the murder weapon and arrow and the lack of blood are also the same. So that's right. And therein lies the significance of this mock trial. Oh, I should save occasionally. Making sure we don't lose our progress. Again. Boom. So let's keep rocking it hard, just like that. Defense's argument. Before the crime occurred, the defendant was to meet with the victim in the quad. let's see here. When I arrived at our meeting place, I found the professor with an arrow in her stomach. But it wasn't me. I didn't kill her. You don't have to ham it up like that, Athena. It's called getting into character, Airforehead. Don't be such a wet blanket. Right. Let's see. Oh yeah, then Hugh said... A frail co-ed used her bare hands to stab her professor with an arrow? I don't think so. At the time of the murder, a male student was... Oh wait, hang on, wait. If he's the defense attorney, he's... The prosecutor is the super loud one. Okay. I was surprised to find out that in this game, when you game over, it does not reload your save. It just goes, okay, we'll put you back to basically where you just were, with full health again. Which is a departure from the rest of the series, but I'm fine with it. We don't normally have to reload again and again and again and again in order to get a question right. Not in this series, anyway. Danganronpa, on the other hand. At the time of the murder, a male student was seen holding a bow in the archery club room, which has a clear view of the quad. He shot the arrow into the victim before my client even got there. Nine, Airforehead. That feigned swagger does not suit you in the least. Order, order, order! Especially you, Mr. Justice. Me? But I was just trying to get into it like Mr. Euro Rocker said. So, the victim was shot from the archery club window before the meeting even took place. Hence, the defendant could not be the killer. That seems to be the defense's assertion. Prosecutor Gavin, do you have any objections? The autopsy report notes that the edges of the victim's wound were unusually ragged. Could such physical trauma possibly result from an arrow shot from a bow? 9. I believe the victim was impaled with the arrow by hand, post-mortem. In short, the real murder weapon was not the arrow at all. When Robin was prosecutor, he had a tough time determining the real murder weapon. Well, he's just a student, a warm-up act, while I am the real deal, the headliner, so to speak. The true murder weapon was most likely the awl that was left in the art room. An awl? What's that? An awl, you say? What might that be? It's a kind of tool used for poking holes in paper, wood, and other materials. It's kind of like an ice pick. I have a photo here if you're interested. Gross. It's all bloody up to the handle. Please tell me it's just paint. Most likely, Fräulein. Pretty realistic, yeah? Let's pretend it's real blood for now. The defendant's prints were lifted from the murder weapon. Furthermore, traces of the victim's blood were discovered in the art room. That's where I believe the murder actually took place. So, the question now is, how did the body get from the art room to the stage? So it seems like we're not actually, apparently, going to have a health bar and have to do... This doesn't count as court. This still counts as the investigation. The murder took place in the third floor art room, but the body was found in the quad. It must have been quite a chore moving the body all that way. Not at all. There's a maintenance area and storehouse right outside the art room. Yeah, I'm not they're just going through the motions. So far, anyway. And the court used to carry balls was found around there. Oh, I think I've seen one of those before, but that's a pretty big one. A jumbo, yeah, big enough to fit a person or body in it. The defendant dropped the body from the art room window, then moved it with the cart. That is how a high school girl could easily move a body all by herself. You don't say!
Objection!
A body dropped from 3 stories up would show massive signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection!
That's Clavier's voice? That was weird. That may be true, but... We failed to account for the large high jump mat in the storehouse. A body dropped onto such a mat would show no signs of blunt force trauma. Yikes. It's almost scary how similar this whole case is to the mock trial proceedings. Oh, it's Foxen! Foxen hires people to move the bodies for her. That's the way to do it. Quite the crafty killer, in an attempt to cast suspicion on the archery club. They moved the body to the quad, where it would be an easy shot from the club room. Wait, from the club, like, through the window? The archery club meets in a classroom? Where they keep their bows. Naturally. Then, the killer faked the murder weapon by inserting an arrow into the owl's stab wound. Sounds like he has only high praise for Junie's script. Was there any other further arguments from the defense? Nope. It seemed like the teacher who was playing the judge was satisfied, too. Time for the finale, then. Your verdict, if you would. Your verdict, if you please, Fräulein Judge. Huh? Oh, right, that's me. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods... Wait a second. Even if this is just a mock trial of a mock trial, I don't want to declare Junie guilty. Yeah, perhaps that's not such a good idea. Let's end our mock trial here. Besides, it's about time I get back to my investigation. Thanks, you two. That little run-through of the mock trial cleared up quite a few things. Mock trial script added to the truth board section of your handbook. Yes. Yeah, accidental murder is still murder was an actual thing. That is a verbatim quote from the first game, probably the Edgeworth case where he threw the gun when he was a little baby. Achtung, baby. See, I'm messing it up on purpose now. H-tongue. Achtung, baby. Achtung, baby. The prosecution's already got the witness sized up, too. That was quick. Prosecutor Blackwell's almost too good. You're sure in a helpful mood today, Prosecutor Gavin. Very, very clearly California. Murder in self-defense is also murder. Sounds familiar. Oh, was it the one with the guy who was stuffed in a safe? Or no, the one guy was hiding in a safe? The mask-to-mask case? Possibly? That at some point they were like, oh, he killed him in self-defense. Yeah, he was unconscious, and he, like, woke up and hit the guy over the head and ran, or something. And they're like, oh, you killed him with the blow to the head. That's murder. Well, like I said, I just want to catch whoever killed Professor Colt. And there's no reason for me to start butting heads with you two. Anyway, I won't say goodbye, as I'm sure I'll be seeing you later. I always thought the prosecutors were all a rather scary bunch, but Prosecutor Gavin seems pretty nice. Yeah, he's not so bad as prosecutors go. We should get back to investigating too. We don't have nearly enough information yet. And we also have to tell Mr. Wright that we accepted Junie's case. Right. Looks like we have our work cut out for us. Is this where he is? Hey, what do you think you're doing? The crime scene is off limits to students. I'm no student. I'm a lawyer. Yeah, right. Just because you're in law school doesn't mean you're a lawyer. You should see what she did to the last cop who said something like that to her. Yeah, she still hasn't been arrested and put in jail for that. Why, are you threatening an officer of the law? Yikes! No, it's not a threat. It's more like a friendly warning. Guess we should go before I get myself arrested for assaulting an officer. To the hallway mobile. Did the bad guy tricked Lana? That was a complicated one because there were really two murders at stake. There was Goodman, the guy who was actually killed. She didn't kill him. She moved the body and then stabbed it to make it look like she had killed him. Oh, you're right. The sister, the case from 2 years before, they were like, oh, the sister was like, she thought that she pushed the guy and impaled him on the statue or whatever, and that killed him. And they were like, yep, like, even though he was a serial killer who was pursuing her and trying to kill her, it was like, nope, she pushed him and he fell onto a statue that had a sword. That's murder. That's what I call murder. Yeah, Damon Gant. Ah, Mr. Wright. I heard they arrested your friend Juniper. Yeah, Detective Fulbright just took her in. I've already forgotten his voice. I refuse to believe that one of our students is capable of murder. We must prove her innocent by any means necessary. The ends justifies the means. What do you mean, the ends justify the means? I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and mean what I say, by all means. Here at our esteemed academy, we train our students to produce meaningful results. You believe in Juniper's innocence, do you not? Of course I do. Junie wouldn't even hurt a fly. Precisely. We have justice on our side. The only other thing we need are results. It is the height of folly. I love that expression! It is the height of folly to endanger your client by failing to pursue all means possible. Sure, I want to prove her innocence, but I don't like the sound of that the ends justifies the means part. Well, you are still young and idealistic. It's no wonder you fail to see the wisdom therein. There is but one thing to do now. I must personally take up Juniper's defense. Yeah, we've been over his smile and its horrific nature. I just noticed the name of the cafe. Prosecute and Classy Cafe. You're going to take her case, Professor Means? I was a functional globe. Just in case he ever needs it. I may be a professor, but I am still licensed to practice law. Yes, the culpable curry. And guilty dogs. Even better than samurai dogs. In fact, I have even battled Professor Court in court. No kidding. So you guys were rivals or something? No, nothing of the sort. She was an esteemed colleague at the academy and in court. You see, both Professor Court and I graduated from this academy at the top of our class. Wow, I bet they both used to really bring it. Now, if you will excuse me, I had best go discuss the case with Juniper. Professor Means, wait, please, wait. I didn't want to say anything, but Apollo and I already agreed to take her case, and plus you're the real murderer. It's true. Juniper is counting on us to prove her innocence. Really now? You two? And when were you planning on telling me? Sorry, boss. I know we should have asked first, but relax. Your friend was just hauled away in front of your eyes. Sometimes you just have to make snap decisions, and I think you made the right one. Also, isn't this the decision of the defendant? Don't you choose your lawyer? How wonderful. Very well, Athena Sykes. Let me ask you just one thing. As a lawyer, what is it that you treasure beyond all else? That's an easy one, Professor. Seeking justice for my clients. What a wonderful answer. Juniper must be overjoyed to have a friend such as you. As her professor, I, too, shall do whatever I may to help her. And if you decide to take the end justifies the means strategy, come see me at once. Let's hope it never comes to that. Now, if you will excuse me. Aren't you required to have a license to practice before you can even teach law? I hope so. Not if you teach kangaroo court. This morning I was watching somebody from Australia streaming Final Fantasy XIV, and he got to the end of 1,000 Laws of Todorok where you fight the giant scorpion. And I said, like, he had said something about, wow, it's a huge scorpion. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure you have scorpions that big in Australia. He's like, no. I mean, we have them, but they're not that big. Or he said, he's like, we have them. They're not, like, a big deal. They are deadly, though. It was, the way he said it was, like, the most Australian thing in the world. That he's just as an afterthought was, well, yeah, they are deadly. Well, time's a-wasting. You better get started investigating, and fast. But first, how about I tell you everything I know so far? Yes, please. About the Moida. Savine, hello! Unexpected body. Well, I mean, we were pretty sure that there was going to be a murder. Have you learned anything new about the case? Actually, I ran into Prosecutor Gavin, and he told me something interesting. Seems the murder took place in the art room. There's traces of a large pool of blood there. So the police believe the body was moved from there to the stage. What? Really? Just like the mock trial again. The police are searching the art room. But whether they'll find anything? Well, what? Come to think of it, let's do our own crime scene investigation before it gets too crowded around here. Huh? Are we even allowed to do that? It's no big deal, as long as we leave it exactly like we found it. Plus... no, never mind. The jellyfish? The Irukandji jellyfish? I think that's what they're called. Irukandji. Or Irukandji. Because there's two, like, there's the big ones and the small ones. The big ones... Who is it? The small ones have a poison that's supposed to be, like, the most... It's not, like, an immediately painful sting, but you're, like, hospitalized for days if you get stung by one. I forget where I read about that. It's such a random piece of trivia. Also, I will never go to Australia. There is no chance in the world I would ever go to Australia because of their insects and arachnids. Now, where was I again? There's really no need to talk about it right here, right now. I want you two to find out for yourselves. Okay. So were you shocked by your conversation with Professor Means? Oh, I guess so. Actually, that was pretty shocking. The Dark Age of the Law. I'm sure you've heard those words before. Sure, a number of times. Prosecutors file false charges and lawyers fight back by fabricating evidence. There's a lot of that going around these days. But the question is, how is it related to the case at hand? Training students to produce results. That is the school's policy. Well, that in and of itself isn't a bad thing. Right. As long as those results come by fair and honest means. Oh, but what was it the Professor Means said? The ends justifies the means? Alright, I will see you later, Foxen. To survive the dark age of the law, you must use any means necessary. Fabrication of evidence and false charges are unavoidable in the quest for results. That's what they're preaching here at Hope's Peak Academy. But what'll happen to our legal system if results are all that matter anymore? Relax, it's just a rumor. I'd take it with a grain of salt if I were you. Oh, that's a relief. He had me going there for a minute. Wait a second. What if Mr. Wright examined the victim's body for a reason? Maybe he was worried someone might actually tamper with the evidence. I think that about wraps up what I know so far. The fact that this case closely resembles Ms. Wood's script is obviously important. Knowing that, you should probably try and identify what's the same and what's different. Okay, I'll try talking to as many people as I can on campus. Maintenance area? So this is the maintenance area. Let's see. During the mock trial, Prosecutor Gavin said that the art room is right above here on the 3rd floor, and that the body was dropped from there onto a high jump mat from the storehouse. Right. And then he claimed that the body was transported to the stage in a ball cart. And then... There's someone else here. See, we have the traditional Japanifornian school incinerator. Sure, that's going to come into play. Hey, it's Robin. Whoa! You scared the crud out of me! Yikes! Right back at you. So what are you doing out here? I'm working so that I can become strong enough to save Juniper. But I'm so worked up. My training brace is almost breaking at the seams. There we go. He can be Stinko Man. He gets the Stinko Man voice. We've nailed it. Oh, right. The girl you like got arrested, so you're psyching yourself up to rescue her? Yes, because I'm the manliest of manly men. That's why I work out with my manly brace. Except that I hear some discord in that manliest of men's voice of yours. I don't mean to be rude, but can't you talk without shouting? Sorry! I'll try not to shout so much. If at all possible, that is. Which is not at all possible, by the sound of it. Pluto Newt? What? Saving Juniper. Maybe you should start out by saving Pluto Newman. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not getting it. I'm sure it was a very funny joke. Funny reference to something. So do you mind if we ask you some questions as Junie's lawyer? No problem. Ask away. Keep 'em coming, man. Ouch. My ears ache already. Robin, could you tell me a little more about yourself? Oh, Newman is his name. Oh, first of all, okay, I get it. And then, gotcha. Juniper, Jupiter, Pluto. I was afraid I was missing something, like, totally different. You want to know about me? I'm a second-rate member of the Fine Arts Club. The Fine Arts Club? Looks like broken pottery or plaster. Maybe this is the source of that noise we heard. There were supposedly 2 statues on this stage. I seem to recall hearing that a co-ed from the Fine Art Club had made them. 2 big banners and a pair of wicked statues. This is just an illustration, but it's not half bad. Wicked statues? Wait, are these supposed to be you and Mr. Wright? Bingo, Fräulein. And they were so big and magnificent, too. What a terrible waste. Say, did you create those stage statues by any chance? You bet I did. Both of them. Put my blood, sweat, and tears into those things, man. It must have been terrible seeing them all smashed up like that. Nah, I couldn't face Professor Court if I let something like that get me down. What do you mean? Professor Court was the Fine Arts Club advisor. She was all about truth and beauty, man. She always said the only good result is the truth. That and... Only lawyer... What a thing for the Fine Arts Club president to say. Only lawyers who seek the truth through legitimate means produce worthwhile results. Rolls right off the tongue. Yes, I'm totally on your guy's side. She must have been an incredible woman. Yeesh, and you call me loud when I practice my chords of steel. This 60... Wait, is Fräulein not something that they say in Germany anymore? Am I behind the German times?
Oh man, why'd I have to take the prosecutor course? I mean, how am I supposed to save Juniper from studying to be a prosecutor?
Don't worry, I'll clear Junie's name. You'll see.
The three of us had a dream. We swore we'd make it happen together. Prosecutor, lawyer, judge.
What is... I'm sure it's fine. Why is he still examining it?
The three of us would hold fair and honest trials. The dark age of the law. Ha! We were going to put a nail in its coffin, man.
Oh, I see. Ah, see? The more you know. Wow, you guys swore to do that?
But no! That stupid school rule had to ruin it.
School rule? Which one? Oh, okay, interesting.
Anyone with a prior conviction, no matter how minor the offense, they won't be allowed to graduate from this stupid holier-than-thou school.
A tough legal academy, with even tougher rules. Junie will never become a judge unless I can prove her innocence. And if I fail, the three of them will never realize their dream. It's like someone put pressure on my pressure.
Ah, that paper!
So, Robin, is this article true?
The author of that article has been gunning for the three of us for some reason. It's been nothing but trashy articles like this as long as I can remember.
Maybe the author just wants your attention?
No way, man! The venom in those articles is way beyond that.
I wonder. Does that bring up a new talk topic? It does not. Any reason to go back to the agency? Trucy is here. Nah. Anybody that you talk to that just says any ideas, they're gonna have nothing to say. At least that is my belief. Look, there's Hugh. Hey, Hugh! Oh, it's you two. Do you want something? Did you find anything? You said you were going to do some investigating of your own. Nope, nothing yet. I'm afraid it's not looking very good for Juniper. You don't really think Juniper could have done something like this, do you? Only the author and the victim knew the contents of the script. So the guy who's going to school to be a prosecutor thinks that she is innocent, and the guy who is going to school to be a defense lawyer thinks that she's guilty. Both the stage and the art room were in the exact same state as described therein. Nobody could mimic the crime like that unless they'd already read the script, or wrote it. But look, Professor Means is better able to handle this than you two, so just leave it to him. There it is again. I'm picking up some discord in Hugh's voice. I don't have like a thing to present to people to scan them. Oh well. So you really declared that you'd confess to Junie if you won the mock trial? Because he's definitely not the shy type. Huh. Yeah, well, that's just the genius that is me. My thoughts and actions are on a whole other level from you mouth breathers. No, it's your vanity that's on a whole other level. Hugh, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself? Yeah, I already pointed out On the book, it says, like, civil law, corporate law, and criminal law, or something like that. And I'm like, that's smart to get all of those things in one book. You just have to read the one book instead of reading 3 books to become a lawyer. Whatever. I'm 6'1", and under this uniform, I'm 100% lean muscle. My grades are outstanding, and I'm the ace of the archery club. Needless to say, I never miss my mark. Wait, is he carrying around a bow, or is this supposed to be a, like, what do you call it? Like a wooden sword, like Peko had. Oh, and I'm incredibly humble, too. How can he even say that with a straight face? Those around me call me a genius, but I pay them no mind. But when it comes to tests, I always get 100%. So I suppose it's only natural for them to say I'm a genius. But as I said before, I pay them no mind. I heard you the first time. But what about the mock trial? It sounded like you were about to lose to Robin. There's a very good reason for that. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. What? You saw the body? Right, and I was so distraught that I basically handed Robin a victory. Hugh, would you mind telling us a little more about that? Right before the mock trial, the campus was empty. Everyone was here in the lecture hall. We already saw this. Come on. So many flashbacks. That's right. There was that announcement, and then everyone came in here. The only exceptions were the mock trial participants. Juniper, Robin, and I were in our personal dressing rooms next door. Wow, your own personal dressing rooms. That's total VIP treatment. Actually, they're for student-teacher meetings. They don't even have windows. They don't even have windows. The other 2 waited patiently in their rooms, but that's not my style. So I headed over to the archery range on the other side of the quad. I did some meditation while I waited. That's the best way to relax. Then, just before the mock trial was to start, I headed back toward the main building. As I walked across the quad, I passed in front of the stage. So that's when you saw the body. Right. It was quite a shock. As much as I hate to admit it, my legs were shaking. I could have easily beaten Robin if it hadn't been for that. Wait, hold it right there. You went through with the mock trial even though you had just discovered a body? Why didn't you tell anyone? I mean, we're talking about someone getting killed here. I think I know why. Was it because of this? Ah, where'd you get that? So this article in the Hope's Peak Herald is true. The winner of the mock trial would get to make his confession to Junie. Right, but if I reported the body I'd found, the whole thing would be called off. He really wanted to win that bad. Bad enough to ignore a dead body. Sorry, but that's not normal. Or could their love for Junie really be that strong? Thanks for sharing that important piece of information with us. It may prove useful at tomorrow's trial. Good, because that's all I have to say about the matter. Thanks, and don't worry, we'll prove Juniper's innocence, you'll see. I can't say you two inspire much confidence. Okay, okay, Athena, what next? I don't know, are the police gone?